All right, what do you want to know? I always knew it was a risk. I always knew that they didn't get all of the tumors. They essentially left me with 4. So one was on my optic nerve, one is 3 millimeters from crushing my carotid artery, one's on the back of my left eye, and then this one in my eye socket. And every 6 months I would go get MRIs. And you know, I did see on the MRI there was some progression, but nothing significant. And the problem was my symptoms came back. And I started feeling that eye bulge a little more, and everyone kept saying, but I can't tell, I can't see it. Well, I can feel it. And then my eyes started progressively tearing. And then I started getting this like gelatinous goo that would go over and block my vision. And then I lost my vision in the corner of my eye, and I would get double vision, not to mention headaches. And I kept telling them, something's not right. And finally, I called my doctor's nurse. Do you think it's possible I had Graves all along and you just happened to find a brain tumor too? And she said, you know what, let me run that by the doc. So that's when they ordered a CT scan. You know what, I'm so glad we did, because I had the CT scan on the 13th, and it popped up on my chart the next day. And unfortunately, I'm in that position where sometimes I know more than I wish I did. So when I read the medical report, I knew exactly what I was dealing with, and it was a kick in the gut. And what I didn't know was that there was a new type of procedure available to me. So for a few days, I was under the assumption that I was going to have to go through that whole craniotomy again, and they were going to, you know, cut my head back open and go through the whole nonsense all over again. So yeah, right away, I did not handle this one well. When I first got diagnosed, I knew that tumors like mine, the type of tumor is common, but the location of mine was not. And I knew there was a very real chance that something could go very, very wrong. And then I knew when they left all the tumors behind that this was always a possibility. But I never realized, you know, when you're talking about having to remove a ton of bone in my face, you know, I can hide the scar, the first one. I can't hide that. And, you know, thoughts of like my career is over, you know, all kinds of horrible things went through my mind. What if they can't fix it? What if they can't get it all? Because it's growing into my cavernous sinus, and that's where my carotid artery is, as well as all the nerves that control my eye movement. So I started thinking, this one could really mess me up. Not necessarily kill me, but diminish my quality of life. And that's what scared me more than anything. The other one, I'd made my peace. I know that's gonna sound really crazy, but I made my peace. So I thought, if I don't come out of this okay, I was okay with that. But this time it's like, okay, I survived the first one. Are you kidding, universe? I mean, really? Now I gotta deal with this again? And I thought I had more time. I didn't think I would have to deal with this so quickly. So the way I handle things is I do research, and I start digging. And I found out that there's a carotid sparing surgery that I might be qualified for, or there is a stent that they could put in. And I found doctors who knew how to do that. I cannot live without an option. I cannot accept there is no option. I didn't see this one coming. When I found out about this procedure, and that this procedure was available to me, my entire outlook changed. But at the same time, I realized, you know, this surgery could go anywhere from 4 to 15 hours, and they really don't know what they're dealing with until they get in. So I have no idea what to expect when I wake up. I have no idea what I'm going to look like when I wake up or when the swelling goes down. I'm anticipating I'm going to wake up with an incision on my side because they're going to need my rib to rebuild my face. What's that going to be like? There's so many unknowns with this, and granted, yes, there were unknowns with the other one, but I seemed better prepared for the other one, and I felt like I had more time to study. This one was just sort of deal with it. It's not so much the deformity, it's more about, will my vision be damaged? Will I lose my vision? And it's just, you know what, you're just gonna have to deal with it and figure out how to hide it in your own way. I do that on a daily basis now. So in the big scheme of things, I'm just trying to get myself real that it is what it is, and I'm gonna have to figure it out, and I will. It's just, I don't know why this one just bugged me more. I came back in time to cover the biggest news story of the century and worked my butt off for a year and a half or more to do that. And then I turn around and my tumor spread, and now I gotta leave again and go deal with this. I mean, I'm mad for a number of reasons, but that's where the why me comes in. It's like, come on, I already did this. All the people who reached out to me and said, after the first one, I had veterans who lost limbs in Iraq or Afghanistan send me cards. And I would think, oh, Monica, you've got nothing to complain about, shut up. I had burn patients from Metro who were severely disfigured send me cards and be like, you're gonna be okay. And here I am like, oh, Monica, shut up. I have nothing to complain about. I am so incredibly lucky. And all of those people, like I said in the first time, there are so many other people who are going through things that are way worse than I'm dealing with, and they still get up out of bed every morning and go lead a productive life. And that's what I will do, because that's all I can do. And if I look a little funny, whatever, I'll deal with it.